Like TeddyGrey on stuff, whooshy gives a proper reaction.
And now for something completely different.
Hey, Outcast gang, I hope we are all well today. Today, NF, My Stress, the lyrics video. So, without further ado, let's get into this. If you're watching this on the premiere, hit the live chat button. Come and talk to your fellow bearded person over there. And without further ado, let's go. Like, comment, subscribe. My Stress. I wonder what he could be stressing about. Could be a myriad of things.
Yeah, some days I just wanna leave the negativity in my head. I just want relief from my stress. I just want relief from my stress. Some days I don't wanna see or have a bunch of people to impress. I just want.
It's so good how he does that. I don't want to see ya, have a bunch of people. Like, the see ya and people, it sounds similar enough for him to put an inflection on his vocals for it to almost seem like it's another rhyming couplet, but it's not. Oh, it's an internal rhyme. I'm going all the way, mate. I love his vocals.
Yeah, some days I just wanna leave the negativity in my head. I just want relief from my stress. I just want relief from my stress. Some days I don't wanna see or have a bunch of people to impress. I just want relief from my stress. Yeah, I just want relief from my stress. Late nights, staring out the window doing 85. Got my state of mind, yeah. Walking on that gray line, hoping that my stress dies. It's like I hate it, but I love it at the same time. Pressure pushing me from all sides. Insecurities of all kinds, yeah.
Oh, the pressure pushing me from all sides. Insecurities of all kinds. Like, pushing from all sides means like it's closing in on you, you know? You feel like a constraint. Like it's building a pressure. Oh, that's literally what he said, in it. Pressure pushing. Yeah, pressure. It's like being underwater, you know? And when the pressure gets to you, it literally crushes you under the weight of that pressure. Wow. Crazy. They're talking about grey lines, TeddyGrey lines.
From my stress, late nights, staring out the window doing 85. Got my state of mind, yeah. Walking on that gray line, hoping that my stress dies. It's like I hate it, but I love it at the same time. Pressure pushing me from all sides. Insecurities of all kinds. Yeah. I'm a hostage to my own pride. Most important things in life to me are things I know I can't buy. Yeah, it's me in phases. I'm not in the mood yet to meet another stranger. I'm not in the mood yet to have a conversation and talk about a bunch of things that I don't feel amazed with. Getting too close to me, whoa, could be dangerous. I don't like that energy, I leave the situation. All this negativity that I can get.
I don't know how to take this, because it feels like introspection, but then it also feels like a warning. And to give that warning, you would have assumed that one had already sort of defeated them or taught themselves into that they were a burden to other people. If they can like warn you with that much veracity and say like, no, stay away from me, you must know that you're bad for other people. Do you know what I mean? Because of the negativity that he keeps feeling. And I'm guessing that he knows he's a good person, or at least he tries to be. But the fact that he keeps having these negative thoughts, perhaps it's making him feel like he's a negative person, even when he's not, you know? Like, me personally, I'm somebody that moans about a lot. I complain about a lot of things, but to me personally, like, me complaining, it's almost like me getting it out there. And then once I've got it out there, I can tell myself, okay, let's deal with it now. I don't like dealing with that shit internally. I'll complain about it and then I'll get it fixed, you know? I'll sort it. But people see me complaining and they think, oh, he's just a negative person. I'm really not. Sometimes one has to be negative in order to constantly be positive. If you're constantly positive and you don't focus on the negative, you're going to hit a negative and not be able to counter it with your positivity. because you don't know how to deal with it. That's just my opinion, though. You know, that's how I deal with things. It feels like Nate might be very similar, though. You know, but also he said like the best things in life are things that you can't buy, and I started to think about his son. Like, now that Beckham's here, it's something that money didn't buy. His son, you know, that's a gift from God that he now gets to cherish for the rest of both of their lives, respectively. You know, but then he said, I don't want to meet another stranger. And whilst I was thinking of Beckham at the time, I was thinking, do you think he maybe had feelings like, I don't want to meet another stranger? Because your child, when they're born, they are a stranger to you. I know it's your blood, it's part of your family, you know, it's your heritage, it's your seed, however you want to call it. You have a familial relationship with that child, but it is still a stranger, you know, and you are a stranger to that person too. So when he said, I don't want to meet another stranger, I was already thinking about Beckham, and I thought maybe he had like, and I wonder if that's something that he might touch on in Hope. Like maybe feelings that he had of feeling like he's not going to be good enough for Beckham, you know. If that's the case and anything like that is on this album, I will 100% bawl my eyes out. That's a guaranteed. Anything involving kids, man. Empathy, I'll cry my heart.
Pressure pushing me from all sides, insecurities of all kinds. Yeah, I'm a hostage to my own pride. Most important things in life to me are things I know I can't buy. Yeah, hits me in phases. I'm not in the mood yet to meet another stranger. I'm not in the mood yet to have a conversation and talk about a bunch of things that I don't feel amazed with. Getting too close to me, woo, could be dangerous. I don't like that energy, I leave the situation. All this negativity that I can't get away from. All this negativity I think I need a break from. I'm thankful, but some days I just want to leave the negativity in my head. I just want relief from my stress. I just want relief from my stress. Some days I don't want to see or have a bunch of people to impress. I just want relief from my stress. Yeah, I just want relief from my stress. Yo, this life got my head spinning. Wonder what I'd do if I knew these were my last minutes. Wonder if I had a week to live, would I stay tripping? Wasting every day that I had left trying to sell tickets. Or maybe call my dad, say I love him and laugh with him. Take a couple days and get away from this fast living. I don't love my work the way I did, man. This whole business has got me feeling jaded. Friends I had, now they act different. It's all switching, whoa, yeah. It's pretty hard to watch things you used to love turn to things that you wish you forgot. Real moments that make you question the things that you want. It's got me growing mentally, but stressing me out till I drop over the top. It's where I live on a daily basis. I always find a way to find the bad in good situations. It's sad, huh? Yeah. I live my life on the edge, don't want the meds. I'm just trying to get relief from my stress, you know. Some days I just want to leave the negativity in my head. I just want relief from my stress. I just want relief from my stress. Some days I don't want to see or have a bunch of people to impress. I just want relief from my stress. Yeah, I just want relief from my stress. These stress levels are not healthy. I'm waiting for that call saying records are not selling. I wonder when this all disappears and they forget me. Will I feel like I found who I was or be more empty? I wonder, was I wrong thinking this is where God led me? Or did I get involved with something that was too heavy? I drive until I'm lost and just sit in my car yelling. My inner critic talks. I'm just hoping that God helps me to stop stressing. Yeah.
Just gonna go back to the hook, innit? Yeah. I just need to go back for that. Stress levels are not healthy. I'm waiting for that call saying records are not selling. So it's all the self-doubt, and he's spoken about self-hatred before, you know. I'm just waiting for that call saying records are not selling. And I think I've touched on that before about sort of coming from a negative mind state, and then anything that positive that does happen is genuinely a blessing, because you're always expecting the worst to happen. So when something good does happen, it's almost like a miracle. because you believed so much that you were destined for shit, that when something great happened, it must be of miracle. You know? Wonder when this all disappears and they forget me. Will I feel like I found who I was or be more empty? Mad. That line though, will I feel like I found who I was or be more empty, tells me that he's trying to fill something using the music. And I've spoken before about him using this as therapy, you know. And I don't mean as much as the concerts and the shows and the recording. I'm sure that's something that he doesn't enjoy doing. The writing part of it, like from an artist's perspective, from his perspective, the writing part of it is the part that's therapeutic. And in doing that and recording it, which I'm sure is also therapy to him, I'm sure he also enjoys that, but he's already said like his job is it's becoming work now. He doesn't want to do it as much as he did. So the recording, as much as he enjoys it, it's becoming less like therapy for him now, I'm guessing. Because he's either found who he was, or he's figured out that he's no better, or he's more empty. He's figured something out from here, or from when he started like over a decade ago until present day. So hopefully when the album comes out, there's a lot more clarity. And to be fair, in both Motto and Hope, there's been more clarity in both of those songs than I've seen in any record so far. Because there's a lot of contradictions, a lot of juxtapositions within his lyrics, whereas Hope, Motto, they were flat out, I mean what I'm saying now. I've had over a decade in this game, I've been doing this for a long time, I know what I'm trying to say, and I'm saying it. This is why I'm looking forward to this new record so much, man. So much. Because you can literally see the evolution. So to see where he is now, I genuinely cannot wait. Let's go.
Like I found who I was to be more empty. I wonder, was I wrong thinking this is where God led me? Or did I get involved with something that was too heavy? I drive until I'm lost.
And when he says thinking this is where God led me, or did I get involved with something that was too heavy? Now when something's too heavy, it weighs you down. And in terms of like heaven and hell, down would be hell. So if it's too heavy, it's leading him in the wrong place. He's thinking it's where God led him, whereas in actual fact, this thing that he's on, this path that he's on, is leading him to a darker place than he intended. Maybe that's what he meant, but that's what I feel.
Something that was too heavy, I drive until I'm lost and just sit in my car yelling. My inner critic talks. I'm just hoping that God helps me to stop stressing. Yeah.
Actually, that last bit as well. I'm just hoping that God helps me. Like, he said the word just 3 times. And I know that obviously a lot of this is to fill the bars, which is one criticism that I do have of NF. He uses the same words to fill up spaces within the cadences, which I don't like, because I feel like as an artist you could be a lot more creative and use a lot more words. Whereas NF kind of makes up for it within his subject matter, because he's speaking on something that's very personal. Thinking about like a new word to use, it might not come into his head because he is literally talking about things that he's feeling and thinking and going through. So, you got to give him a pass for that. So obviously I do, but he said just 3 times. It's the last just that doesn't make sense. And just sit in my car yelling, that's fine. I'm just hoping that God helps me, that's fine. Just stop stressing. God wouldn't say, just stop stressing. That sounds like he's talking to himself. And where he's saying, I'm thinking this is where God led me. Why does he not know? Is he not talking to God anymore? And then he's saying, I'm just hoping that God helps me. Why does he not know that? He should know that God's helping him if he's still talking to God. But no. I believe at this point within his career, he'd maybe stopped having that close of a relationship with with God, maybe. Because he's having to tell himself, just stop stressing. Whereas before, he might have looked to God to help him out with that. But then he's still stressing, so he's thinking, well, I've asked you for help, and I'm still going through this, so what, am I going to have to do it on my own? That kind of feels like what this is, you know, because he's spoken about God quite a lot. I think like 3 or 4 times just in this record as well, so it has to be for some reason.
Hoping that God helps me to stop stressing.
Yeah. That beat.
Yeah.
Oh, eerie.
Some days, I just wanna leave the negativity in my head. I just want relief from my stress. I just want relief from my stress. Some days, I don't wanna see or have a bunch of people to impress. I just want relief from my stress. Yeah, I just want relief from my stress. Yeah, some days. Yeah, some days. I just wanna leave them. I just wanna leave them.
That's definitely the end of it, isn't it? Yeah. Also, one other thing. What was it? Yeah. When he says some days, I don't want to see ya, have a bunch of people to impress it. I don't think it's see ya, I think it's see. I don't want to see or have a bunch of people to impress. Like, I don't want to see or impress people. I just don't want to be around people. I think it's see or, not see ya. Other than that, great lyric video. Timing was right. Brilliant. I hate it sometimes, like when the beat drops and the lyrics are already up before the beat's dropped. It's like, well, now I'm reading lyrics. I'm not. There's no space between the silence and then the drop. You've ruined it for me, because when there was empty space, you've now put lyrics, so I'm thinking of stuff. And when the drop comes, it's not the same. But that one was all right. I think it's called Gold something or other. What was it? Gold Coast Vibes. So, shouts out to that lyric video channel. Yeah, this track was a very nice track. I liked his vocals on it, and I like how he didn't sort of shout anything, which meant that whilst he's talking about stress, he's coming at this from a place of, okay, I'm winding down. Like, I really need to get on top of this. Do you know what I mean? If he was still angry about the fact that he was stressed, this record would be a hell of a lot different. And you'd get that, like, The Search, Leave Me Alone, Nate, where he's like shouting, like, ah, da, da, da. But we didn't get that here, so it feels like he's wound down. He's probably penned quite a lot to do with stress. Probably like a A4 and A4 and A4, and then sort of honed it into what he actually wanted to say. And it is interesting how he used God and references to the Lord or God or God-given grace. He mentioned that quite a few times within this record. COVID. It's not, don't worry. But yeah, I feel like his relationship with God at this point might be a little bit on the rocks, might be a little bit testy. But yeah. Next one is, what have we got next? Is it Returns? My Returns? Returns? The Returns? He Returns? The Returned? Returning? Returner? I have no idea, but it's coming. I'll see you soon.